Hey everyone. So, as some of you may know, I'm in high school. I go to a highly rated public high school in the United States, and I have a 4.0 GPA. I take multiple AP classes, and I have a lot of other extracurricular involvements other than cubing. Yeah, that's just a little background information so you can assess whether this video would be useful for you. And I would like to start with a disclaimer that this video is intended for high school students, whether you go to private school, public school, homeschool. Hopefully this will be useful for you. Or if you're starting high school in the near future and you're worried about being able to have time to cube, this is not intended for college students, and this isn't even a one-size-fits-all for high school students. Everyone's needs are different based on your academic load, your other extracurriculars, your skill level of cubing, what grade you're in. Like, a freshman is going to have less to do outside of school than a senior who's working on their applications. So just keep all of that in mind with these tips. So my first tip is, if you specialize in an event the way I do, how I specialize in clock, do your best to do at least one average of 5 in that event every day. No matter how busy I am, I try my best to do at least one clock average every day in order to keep solving fresh in my mind. It makes sure that I don't get rusty or regress with my skills. Ideally, I have a couple favorite events. I would ideally try to do a couple solves of each one every day. But if I only have time to do 5 solves, the 5 solves are going to be clock, because that's where I put most of my practice time, because it's my priority event. So next, you gotta pick and choose what competitions to go to, especially if you're an underclassman and you're not old enough to have a driver's license, or if you're an upperclassman who just doesn't have one. I do have my driver's license, so I can go to most competitions in my city, but sometimes, school gets in the way. I have too much homework. For example, over spring break, I went to a competition 5 hours away because I competed in every event except blind. So I did 5 events, and one of them was clock, which is my main event. But next week, there's a competition only an hour away from my house that I can't go to because it's right before AP tests. I didn't have anything going on the week of this competition that I just went to, so there wasn't really any harm in driving the 5 hours to go. It ended up being a nice little trip. But because of AP tests, I need to be putting a lot more of my focus academically, because I also have finals for my classes, starting college applications. I just have a lot more going on. So you gotta pick and choose, and sometimes it's hard to say, I just can't make this one work. But even when it's hard, you have to do it for your grades, for your mental health, so you don't get stressed. And then next, if your school has any cubing club, I highly, highly recommend you join. Clubs, at least at my school, usually meet during lunch. So it's a time built into your day when you wouldn't be working anyway, and it gives you a place to cube and socialize with other people the same way you would practice tables when you're at a competition. It's a very unserious, uncompetitive place to try people's cubes and their scrambles. If you have enough people, you may even be able to reach out to a delegate and try to organize a competition at your school, which is a great way to get even more involved in the cubing community than you already might be. So, for example, my school a couple years ago was the venue for Max Park's 4.09 former 3x3 NIR single. I wasn't cubing at the time, so I didn't go, but it was at my school when I was a student. It was my freshman year. And then my very last tip, I think this is probably the most important: do not keep cubes on your desk when you're doing your homework. Because I assume most of you probably sometimes, maybe more often, get distracted and you start cubing while you're doing your homework. So just put them away. My desk and my shelves where I usually keep my cubes are on complete opposite sides of my bedroom. So every morning, I put all of my cubes on my shelf, and I don't go to that side of my room until I have done all the homework I need to get done for that night before it's okay for me to start cubing. Because the way my room is laid out, I have to go all the way around my bed to get to my cubes, and it's not that annoying, but it's just annoying enough that I don't feel like it's worth it to get up and do it when I know I just have to keep doing my homework anyway. So I just don't do it until I'm done with my homework and I can give solving my full attention. because both things need your full attention. You can't cube while doing homework, and you can't do homework while cubing. It just doesn't work. It's like oil and water, they don't mix. Yeah, so I really hope you guys found this video helpful. Sorry if I was talking really fast. I have a tendency to do that. I have more tips that I can make a part 2 if you guys want. And, maybe in the fall, once I've done my college applications, I can also make a video about how to handle doing college applications while also still cubing.